Do you believe in ghosts? Well, you will believe in the GOST framework after this video. Chances are that if you ask someone what's the difference between goals, objectives, strategies, and tactics, you'll either get a response where they're not sure what the difference is, or different people say different things. But don't worry, we're gonna make that all clear here today. And this is part one of a two-part video where we'll cover the GOST framework. And specifically here today, we're gonna get really in-depth into strategies versus tactics. And I think we're gonna give you a nice example that sheds light on that in a new way. Hey, this is Adam with Strategy Kiln, where we demystify and simplify business challenges. Don't forget, we're always giving out free slides, frameworks, different things like that over at strategykiln.com. So please go there, you'll find all the videos, this free stuff. Please check it out. So starting out with a staggering statistic from Harvard Business Review, an article by Robert Kaplan, 94% of employees either don't understand or don't have clarity on what their organization's strategy is. And so that means that people don't get it and that there isn't visibility to an overarching strategic management plan. And the GOST framework, in my opinion, is the best way to bring visibility and clarity to your goals, objectives, and how your strategies and tactics will help you achieve those. And that's what we're gonna uncover here today. So as we get into defining all these terms, it's important that we level set on the definition of goals and objectives. So this is the definition we're going to use from our analytics friends over at HubSpot. Goals are what you want to achieve broadly, and they're qualitative. Objectives, on the other hand, are numerical targets like market penetration, revenue, sales, EBIT, profit, market share, qualitative items like that. And so different organizations have different ways of looking at these terms. This is how we're going to define it in the video. So strategies are the specific focus areas for how you'll achieve your goals and objectives. And ironically, strategies are often left out of the GOST equation because they're very difficult to define. They are inscrutable, like the repose of the Mona Lisa. But seriously, they're very intangible. They're not quite like things, and that makes them often overlooked. So strategies aren't quote unquote a thing. They're very intangible. There's something you can't quite reach out and touch. For example, omni-channel strategy, right? What is that? Can you hold it? Centralized purchasing, can you hold that? And so you'll see that when strategies become more concrete, it's when strategies and tactics are brought together. So here's another very important distinction on what a strategy is and what a strategy isn't. So looking at this orange box here, you have to be able to say, no, I won't do that, in order for it to be a differentiated strategy. So what do I mean here? Well, if you are a hospital, using a hospital example, all hospitals have to care about patient safety, right? So that's table stakes. It's a given. You can't say that one of our strategies as a hospital is patient safety because you couldn't say no to it. This is a great pressure test. Since strategy is about choices and strategy is about what you say no to, you have to be able to say no to something in order for it to be a strategy. So hospital can't say no to patient safety, therefore it's not a strategy. Okay, so moving on to tactics. Tactics are also how you'll succeed, but they are more about the what, and they're very specific and they feel tangible, right? So a tactic could be sending an email to Amazon customers. A tactic could be using Facebook ads, right? So it feels a lot more like a thing. That's a good way to identify that this is a tactic or tactical. So here I have an example where we can examine strategies versus tactics. They're juxtaposed on the slide here so we can get really deep. So what I want you to do is to be prepared to kind of slow down your thinking, think very deeply with me, because there's a lot of nuance here. So as A.G. Lafley put it, strategy is where to play and how to win. The where are the strategic domains that we've got here under strategies. So this is the playing field, like geography, consumer segments, vertical integration. So strategies are where you will focus, and they nod to the how. When we think about the how part of strategies here, which is listed under the general strategy section, as Porter explained it to us, right? The how for strategies is either low cost or differentiation. But we know that some of these blue ocean organizations like Uber, for example, somehow blue ocean strategies give you both low cost and differentiation. For example, again, Uber, lower cost than a taxi, but also more convenient. But typically either low cost or differentiation is the how for strategy. So as we talked about, tactics are the specific how. These are the concrete activations that you can go out and touch, such as send an email to Amazon customers, right? Acquisition of Whole Foods. These are things that you can kind of say like, that's what it is. So hopefully as we've walked through this together, you can see how strategies and tactics, they're inextricably woven together, right? They must live together. But when you think about strategies, they're not going to be that tangible. They are these strategic domains where you make that unique choice versus your competition saying, hey, this is the consumer segment, or this is the channel, or I'm going to go with vertical integration, or I'm going to go local as opposed to global. You're picking and choosing these strategic domains, and it should be a unique mix versus the competition. And then those tactics are how you achieve those strategies. And you can see this careful nuance with how the where and the how, come together here with strategies and tactics. Okay, shameless plug. If you're getting value from this video, please subscribe to my channel and please like the video. The YouTube algorithm is very hungry, and if you do take those actions, other people will get to see this more often. It'll help the channel out and help us create better content for you. Also, again, this is part 1 of a part 2 series. So for part 2, we're gonna look at the GOST framework example with Amazon, and it's gonna bring everything that we talked about here together, and it's gonna show you how it looks in that full-scale GOST cascade.